Hey everyone, this is Cullen Haskins. I'm a director with Market America, a member of the $1 Million Club. And, I get asked all the time about prospecting, recruiting, and sponsoring, identifying new candidates, and working with the NMTSS. The thing I'm getting asked a lot is, when we're in the room, are we allowed to promote our businesses outside of Market America? And it's a great question. The answer is no, and here's why. You can't actively walk around the room and proselytize other people for your business outside of Market America. The reason for that is it makes people feel uncomfortable. And so what happens is that then all of a sudden they don't want to come to the next meeting or training. So be very careful that like if you sell insurance, if you sell cars, if you are a licensed health professional, if you run a salon, that's all fine. And people will probably naturally come talk to you as they learn more about your background. Do we do business with each other? Absolutely. However, you don't want to actively pursue other people. And that brings me to another topic, and that is social media. On social media, guys, all the time I'm getting approached by people who've seen me speak in different areas of the country, or they've met me at different NMTSS functions, and all of a sudden they'll hit me up on social media and say, "Man, Cullen, I really like your energy and I would love to work with you." And immediately I look at them and I look at mutual friends that we have, and I can maybe identify that they're in Market America. You guys can see who your friends have as mutual friends. And in that instance, you want to what? You want to refer it back, because here's the reality is there's too many people in the world that not one person is going to make or break your business. So from that perspective, your ethics and your integrity are more important than trying to pursue somebody that someone else worked hard to get to an NMTSS function, and then therefore they sought you out because they thought they related better with you. Remember, what comes around goes around. So if you edify whoever it is they should be working with, and even if they say, "Well, I don't like that person, they're a jerk," or "they don't know what they're doing," or whatever, then you say, "Well, let me figure out who is in their upline and who has a vested interest in working with you," and you refer it upline, and you help figure out a solution for that person, because again, what comes around goes around. You wouldn't want to bring somebody to a meeting yourself and then have them relate with somebody else in the room, and then all of a sudden they're asking that person to sponsor them. Remember, that's the integrity, and that's the power behind our NMTSS system, which of course sets all of us up for success. Without integrity and without all of us collectively working together for one team, one dream, the whole thing will fall apart. And it's one thing that my wife, Trinity, and I have always believed in 100%, and it's our training system. And it's the fastest way to grow your business. But also, now with social media and everything else, some people are going to pursue you. And when they do, you got to ask them some probing questions. Well, do you know anything about Market America and Shop.com? Do you know anything about isotonics and this and that? And if they say they do, then you got to ask more questions, guys. And they're like, "Well, who introduced it to you? And how do you know about it? And this and that." And if they say no to those questions, well, then guess what? They don't know anything about Market America. You can easily talk to that person. The other day I posted something on Facebook, and it was about Awake, our energy drink product, and I did a survey, and I was asking people who would be willing to try some samples, and somebody hit on that and sent me a private message and said that they would want to, try a sample of our Awake product. Well, as I looked at the person's information and I clicked on mutual friends, I noticed they were out of Colorado, and we had one mutual friend, one, that's it, his name's Scott. And I know Scott, and I know he's in Market America. So I had a choice, right? Do I work with this guy, send him a sample, and go after him, let's say? Or do I contact Scott and say, "Hey, Scott, listen, we're not financially connected, but I see we have a mutual friend here, and he actually reached out to me for the survey that I sent. But I also noticed, Scott, that you shared my survey on your wall, which is why you led one of your friends to me." And of course, he responded and said, "Yeah, Cullen, he's somebody I've been talking to, and so I did follow up with him, and I will get him the Awake, and I appreciate you calling me." You guys, that's integrity, and that's the way each and every one of you want to grow your unfranchised business. So on social media, it's not hard to do a little investigating. If you think something feels a little bit weird, and make sure you're referring things back to keep things on the up and up, because the last thing you want is somebody to feel like you're coming after somebody that they brought to the table and introduced the products or the business to. Now, with that being said, it's your job to follow up and follow through with that person. Okay? Don't snooze, because then you do lose. I mean, if it's been 6 months or if it's been a couple of years and you didn't follow up with somebody and that person gets followed up with by another distributor and it's been a long time, well, guess what? You snooze, you lose. It is ultimately up to the person to choose who they want to work with, but it's our job to not actively pursue somebody who is already working with somebody else. So you guys, that's the line in the sand that you need to draw. Go grow your business to exactly where you want to be and leverage the NMTSS to grow it even faster than you could even imagine. And we'll see each and every one of you at the top.